All right, so we're going to talk about decision matrix, and some of you guys have already done this, so this should be pretty easy if you've gone through this. But a decision matrix is simply a way of you evaluating your ideas and coming up with a solution, or which one is the best solution. And, you know, most time, for normal, what do I say? Right now, if we didn't have this decision matrix, most of you would just say, well, I think this idea is the best. And there wouldn't necessarily be a logical approach to it. So you can see in here that they've ranked, you know, they've taken their top ideas across the top and their different, or their top important things, you know, cost, complexity, development, and so on. And then taken their 6 ideas and they've ranked them on a scale of 1 to 4 as to where they fit on that. And then from that, looks like idea number 3 is probably, or idea number 6, I guess, is probably their best bet. It has most of the things in it. And that's what you want to go through. You want to go through those steps to figure that out. So you want to identify your criteria. What are your important things that you want to take into account?
Teachers, the girls will be turning to class at this time.
Okay, and then identify any other additional types of criteria and come up with a grading scale. And then you're going to do this on your own. I mean, this is your decision. What do you value the most in your project? How do you want to do that? Okay, so maybe it's cost or reusability, or, you know, it could be any of those things. Testability or resilience, you know, any of those ideas could be your criteria for coming up with this. Or you could come up with some additional ones: function, product lifespan, you know, costs, and so on. All these different things that go into coming up with this. We're not going to get quite so detailed on some of this, but, you know, we're going to do that. And then come up with a grading scale. So maybe it's on a 1 to 4 scale, best being 4, worst being 1, or a question scale, yes or no. You know, yes, it does this, it meets this, or no, it doesn't meet this criteria, and that's where 2 or 1 point. But you can kind of create that on your own. You can use this, you know, or if you want something, if you think there's something that might be a little bit better, you can do that. So here's an example of them coming up with these ideas. And this is kind of hard to read here. But comparing all these different things. So they're coming up with these, and I'm not really sure what they're trying to create here. But they've got different ideas. They're going to use modeling clay or caramel cubes or dice or whatever. So something that they need cubes in. And, you know, they rank it from cost and to reusability all the way to testability with other parts and so on. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're different. I don't think it really matters because it's not what we're going to be doing. But the idea is there, okay? They have all these constraints. They have all these ideas, and then they rank them and give them points based on their scale that they have. So their decision is based more on logic and not just on personal opinion. How many times have you been in a group where the decision was decided because the person had the strongest personality and said, this is what I want to do, and they fought that to, you know, till the end. And they said, you know, and so everybody finally just gives in. This is a much better way of doing it, coming up with a decision matrix. And you can use this matrix throughout the design process for different parts of it. You know, and I want you to understand how to use that and to be familiar with it and actually use it on this project. All right, so once again, another